Steve agus fáte á bhreiscí how to gail lumsa Darren.
Lumsa Louise.
Agus lumsa Shiva.
Shiva New York, you're serving me riz over here. Look at you.
I'm serving cap.
You're serving cap.
Sorry, were you ever told that it was rude to wear a hat inside?
If I was, I'm ignoring it.
No, she looks great.
Yeah, no.
I love it.
Thank you.
Cheetah girl.
Oh, sorry. Can I also just say, still a husney or taffet, Kermit Kesh in a cailíní. I was like, am I okay wearing this cap? And they're like, yeah. First thing she does is fucking call me out.
I actually made a puss first before saying it was okay. I was a bit like, ooh.
No, I'm very jealous of this cap because
This is on Rud. Darren's Dini and Aaron, you feel like Ain Rud Ossan Gnaach Cahav.
Yes.
Like, and then it's
I agree.
I agree.
The big over the far, Os Kirkig, August Tha, cruaidh. He has a big moustache. Agus Dirt Jake, a hurling show on train in Connolly. No, not in Connolly, in Houston. And Gerlaw all of you out. And he was like, oh, Daddy lost an Earth car. And someone goes, how are you, Mario? Yeah.
There you go. Now I've heard that Mario one has been isn't that famous Twitter meme of someone from Waterford came home from the weekend and college wearing a beret.
Yeah.
And she's still called Mario.
Oh,
years and
yes.
years later.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, thanks for pointing out my fashion statement.
But I actually really, when you got that hat for electric picnic, I was really jealous of it when you put it into the WhatsApp group because it's a very
Sorry, your Queen left your
rizzy hat.
Vimmerg electric picnic. We all sat down, right? This is nowhere to lie on day 2, and Shiva was wearing this hat in her head. Obviously had forgotten the pattern of it, and she was like, I'm delighted I didn't wear leopard print today. Stay to people in leopard. I was wearing leopard shorts fully Aaron Lawton, and Shiva was like, thank God I didn't, it's everywhere. I was like, girl, don't hear the chiaun.
No, you're dead right. You're absolutely right. Agus I think we're to like leopard print hat
Yeah.
So I both slated both of you and made myself look like a big
leopard print hat.
Well, I have to say, Gwilching Aquaid for Laura, but I'm still not sick of it. It's weird.
leopard print is leopard print is a basic.
Yes.
You know, it's Casula Dove, New Bond, New Beige, leopard print because it goes with everything.
It does. I love a bit of leopard print.
Thank you.
Yes. And look, you wear it well. And scales good.
Well, our note of fashion, I also want to just acknowledge the fact we're all doing this little
I know.
Over the shoulder.
over the shoulder
look.
Does that make you
Constant
look very
Chic.
chic?
I think it does.
It's totally chic.
When I first encountered you doing this, I thought it was fucking ridiculous. But now I've bought into it entirely.
It's quite preppy.
I
It's
do it
very
the premier
preppy.
fad. I think I do it because it's a no type of vibe, and actually Ladani, we had a little college Lavam, and her friends were absolutely. It's so great how your friends always keep you humbled, you know, with bringing you back to earth. And I was like, Jesus, I get this same doing over, but I obviously have inherited from mom, you know. And they were like, if she got cold, August the Igmuna, right, she would get one of the school jumpers, like the uniforms, she'd put it over her shoulder in the staff room, and she'd just flick it around her neck. And I was like, oh my God, I can see me as you. That is literally Misha.
Oh my
So
God,
it's genetic, okay?
Yeah. But like, I think some of their fod, we're all turning into our mothers, but on drug relation.
Yeah.
No, well,
No,
need your mother.
And sometimes. Anyway, lads, not Daruzgi as well. There's been in our notes to mention at the top of every episode, and we haven't. Tommy, our Patreon.
Yes.
We bring you lovely, luscious 15-minute episodes weekly, updates on our lives, our Patreon, and talk a lot of shit. And it's good crack, isn't it?
Yeah, it's and like Matati our Patreon, you get added to our close friends or Instagram where we share a little bit more behind the scenes. August Freshen, you will have first dibs ar ein ticket new ein imuchti of Isa Tuck and Keep.
Ooh, exciting. Okay.
The sincerity.
Exciting.
So exciting. I'm so excited to be here.
Tá Darren fós faoi bhrú le do rá. Like, in fairness, girl, you have really committed to the husk anyway.
I know. In my sexy husky era. Guys, I know, do you know what it is now? I go my honest, stressful, nervy mission in charge of the topic.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't see a kind of far lumsa.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking love it.
You have taught us a really good steering a topic.
Well, I think
Do you know what it is though? You just need to curthúslesh, and that's it. You kind of, you're getting a bit of like starter's anxiety.
Yes.
Once you get it up now and get
Pre-show
going, you'll be
nerves.
flying.
Yeah, I think we all love to fucking monologue when we're in that chair.
Yeah.
We do, actually.
We
Not me, actually. Thank God I don't say much.
We sit in that chair and we
Pontificate.
and we pontificate and we just love the sound of our own voices.
God,
So are I glad.
Right. John, no, you're actually after making me feel a lot better about this now. So brilliant.
too bra now.
Right.
On we go,
Okay, on we go. Onwards and upwards. Right, topic na seachtaine seo is how to be emotionally vulnerable. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
How to be emotionally vulnerable, and I've picked emotionally vulnerable because it's something Thomas, you're really overly emotionally vulnerable sometimes, and then not emotionally available in other times, and it's something I'm trying to work on because, you know, I'm a 31-year-old woman, and at some stage I'm gonna have to take charge of my own emotions. So I want to know which of Gama emotionally vulnerable, and what do you think is emotional vulnerability? I googled it, and the official term according to Google is letting yourself be seen and known for who you truly are instead of how you might prefer to be perceived. And Brené Brown, one of those big gurus, says that that emotional vulnerability is uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It's that unstoppable feeling that we get when we step out of our comfort zone or do something that forces us to lose control. So I want to know, are you guys good at being emotionally vulnerable?
sé comhmór mar cheist, isn't it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me try to come a phone off. So take look. We're just got my green graph that I think describes me well in this aspect. Okay.
Oh, great.
Give me 2
okay.
seconds.
This is so exciting. Okay. And it describes you well or describes me well? Oh, you well. Great. Well, I will say, while we're filling a gap and she was getting that organised, I will say I'm sometimes too emotionally vulnerable with people. And then other times I'm extremely emotionally closed off, and I find it hard to have a middle ground.
I think, like Branche, I find to my detriment sometimes I can be too emotionally vulnerable,
yes.
and I can let it all out on Tamar Fod, and actually that can work, like I say, to my detriment. It can sometimes be a bad thing, because Cailíní do really bheith healver. I think if you're going to be emotionally vulnerable, absolutely do, and more power to people who can do it, but like protect yourself as well. And I think I've learned, and I'm a Dolanish, that I need to be also, while emotionally vulnerable, you also need to protect your peace. That is very important, and like protect who it is that you're really being vulnerable around
towards.
And I think especially maybe in our industry, which is media, or in certain groups of people.
Yes,
absolutely.
Because emotional vulnerability is a two-way street. I'm a believer, and I actually think you can be emotionally vulnerable, and it's dangerous if you are not with people who reciprocate that and are emotionally vulnerable back, and like can actively listen, and you can actively listen to them. It's I actually think there's only certain people that it can really work well with.
Totally agree. 100%. Yes. It has to be two-way street, doesn't it? You can only give if you feel you're getting as well. So what's your little
so glach me listen green graph show every May and we last month in studio is air count in a durish and when Shinnatashe it says Aaron Duris, please close me, I like to be shut, makes me feel safe, sincerely Dor. And I think that's me.
Yeah, but I so get that, but also you are emotionally vulnerable in your own way.
I think I'm an oversharer. Oh, have scaled and like Hunry de.
Yes.
But I don't know have mohuchan de.
Agus ruddy at all like dying on it. Like it's things you will like. I think this is what I mean. It's a massive question to say, like, are you emotionally vulnerable? I think it means in what situations are you and with whom? Like,
yes.
I think it's very subjective to the case. Like, I would think don't be emotionally vulnerable all the time. Go into your 9-to-5 job and with your colleagues, like, okay, I'd say know where the line is.
We're trauma dumping today.
Literally. You need to kind of, I think who you are emotionally vulnerable with is actually the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I would say we've a very deep level of emotional intimacy together. And trurging. It's just that sometimes when we get really gushy and tell you how much we love you, Shiva, that you're like, okay, girls, I can't do that. That's what I think makes you uncomfortable.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. That's funny, isn't it?
I'm just like,
it's too much.
Can I ask you?
I'm like operate or wine and then get your hands off me.
Yeah. How are you with Cathal when he's like, do you like him to gush over you, or like when you're alone together?
There's no bolly new boundary. Shame Arcaela.
But no, sorry, but I mean in terms of him, like, do you like him to be telling you that he loves you a lot, or would that bother? Where you kind of like, no, Cathal, once is enough, or do you kind of like?
Oh no,
it's
it's never enough.
It's
that faucet can stay on, like, you know.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's just like I think see near Tom Whidden or Horning Shade Linna Tom Whid and we ag Rudigan social and I'm trying to have my best life, and the two of yous each have an arm around my neck, and like I'm being hung.
But like, 100%. What about the person on a night out? Let's take us out of it. Like the little social butterfly who goes around kissing everyone. Oh my God, I'm everyone's bestie on a night out. August Thaw, like, I love you so much. You'd be like, oh my God, girl, I love you.
And I'd be like, oh my God, I love you too. I'm going for a smoke now. Like, no, I am though. Like, I just don't like when anyone takes me away from the party. It's kind of a rudder smo. So 100%. I'm like, operate, and then let's book a ride.
Move on. Yeah.
No, absolutely get that. And also, find it hard to trust someone who can be like that with too many people.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So like, you know, if you can't
An
love
emotional
everybody,
slut.
But also,
Yes,
like, I think
yes.
it's funny with the drink as well, or when you've like when you're under the influence, like, and then your vulnerability comes out. It's funny, isn't it? Because are you like, you know, if you're just like that when you're drinking,
Yeah.
then like, is that I know you're covering up something bigger. You know,
Yeah.
I know that drinking like will, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it'll bring out your
Yeah, it'll exacerbate.
yeah, it will.
But actually, ní credum an rud sin like a drunken
Oh,
heart
you think
speaks
it's
to
the
sober mind. Like a ní credum sin ar chorba.
No.
No, you talk absolute pony
Nonsense.
agus too
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
so true.
And I don't think that that's just you like saying eventually what's on your
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
sober
yeah.
mind. Like the shite I do be talking. I'm like, I hope I don't think that's sober. Like,
I know.
100%.
Yeah.
You know?
What about the morning after? And if you've been too open with somebody, do you get fear after?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm like, fuck, cé
Of
fágur
course.
inis mé an scéil sin.
Yeah.
Ní lumsa an scéil sin le hinsin, níor
Oh.
win an scéil sin lumsa, cé fágur inis mé é.
Yeah.
I feel, yeah, and like Mohim, like, I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Diane Sherrock, it's the fear, don't we all? You're in it for about a week or whatever, and you're
I
like,
know.
why did I say this? Or, do you know,
Yeah.
it's almost like, sometimes I find I could be a terror. Like, I can go the other extreme, you know, like, you need to be cúramach le sin chomh. But thankfully, I think at this stage of my life, I'm pretty selective with like the people that I know I'll really, really let my hair down with. So I know, for example, if I'm ag amach le daoine at all, like acquaintances or daoine mína gobarlo, there'll be a certain level of olta that I'll get. Or, you know, I think I've kind of learned that harna blianta.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, maybe you let yourself go a little bit more.
Squealte.
Daniela,
Yeah,
I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. I thought the knees come poorly.
You know, but definitely in Fosney as jeepers. I remember like I was a terror in college. Like I would be, sure, like you'd go on a night out and like I would say anything out, you know, and I had no
filter.
No filter.
Yeah.
And sure, like that always got me in
But
trouble.
is that emotional vulnerability or is that just being drunk?
Yeah, actually
You know,
true.
like
Yeah.
I think it's covered on an egg stool and show
Oh.
coming and glare at fuhu and show.
Well, what about emotional vulnerability and bhfuil? Because sometimes we can overshare and bhfuil, and like you're like for example, the nipple story that I shared a couple of weeks ago. Was that a bit much? Probably, but
And was it probably should have probably not have been chosen as the clip for social media?
yeah, probably.
Well, that was my
not.
fault. Sorry.
Well, that's all right. I didn't actually mind that so much as I was like, maybe this will
Yeah.
lure somebody in.
See, this is I think it's an interesting one because we're debating this on a platform that we're going
Yeah.
to be sharing with thousands of people.
Yeah.
So like, would this conversation be the same if there were no cameras or no microphones? Do you know what I mean? So like, it's different levels with different people. Like, to go back to the point I made at the start, like, and I think it's really interesting what you say about bogcríoach, because God, it's like faking it all over again. But are there certain maybe platforms where people share things, you know, that aren't actually
So
like vulnerable or authentic at all, but they do it for certain reactions? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think bhfuil work unless you're really authentic, and that's the thing, isn't it? 'Cause I was going to
Yeah.
say, I couldn't say that you're not authentic or bhfuil.
No, but I'm not talking about
You've
me.
de-
I'm
oh,
saying
yeah.
bhfuil yella.
Oh, my bhfuil.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying,
Are you
like,
coming for other paid curl
I'm not, but
Tory?
I'm saying like just
I think
beginner
you can
also.
smell it a mile away.
I think
I think you can smell it a mile away. You can feel that, like, you're that veneer. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the three of us have said we're the Aaron Pulcher show that like have gotten us into trouble,
Absolutely.
and you know, long may it
Yeah.
last. I don't think we have any plans to change that.
No.
Well, I think that this is what How to Gael is all about. Like, and I think we're really lucky that we can allow ourselves to go there. Like, it's a really special. I sound like I'm drunk. It's really special to
Louise is drunk. Louise is drunk and she's
listen,
oversharing.
I actually
No, but
know.
18, I think sin
Yeah.
an cui, well, Oberlum si féin beidir a story, but I think sin an cúis go datni and Sheila Dini, mar go bhfuil kind of like,
Which sees what you get.
we're so down to earth.
We're so down.
We're so honest and down to earth. Actually,
Well,
I have to put on an accent because it makes me feel uncomfortable to say it otherwise.
She's hiding.
And at least
her emotional
week is more
vulnerability.
Lydia and Neelan with self-consumed anyway. And we haven't spent the last 20 minutes talking about
Ourselves,
our own emotional.
It's just our emotional vulnerability.
Okay, well, sorry. I
you
find
put on
this
an
such
accent
a-
as well.
I know.
Yeah,
I think
sorry,
I copied
Garmy
you.
is shocker.
Go on.
But well, sorry. I'm obviously bringing this up because it is rud atá occur seach I Armahail fi láthair is my, like, you know, my ableness,
Ability.
ability. Oops. My ability to be emotionally vulnerable and put myself into situations where I am emotionally vulnerable. But I rud gur eile mé le déanaí, which I would have thought I was very aware, but Neil May, is what it feels like to be triggered. because obviously we hear about that a lot, but like being triggered and whatever, but like things like, do you know what that feeling is? And like I often would get that feeling when I have to do something I really don't want to do, like clean out my car or be organised, and it's like, oh, like I just really don't want to do this, and that's actually being triggered, and I didn't know that. I thought like being triggered was like if you suffered some big trauma and like someone spoke about something that reminded you of the trauma, and then you like went into a big fucking panic attack. But actually you can be triggered by just like having to do like a mundane task
Girl,
that brings up something for you.
An alarm clock, a calendar trigger, like, do you know what I mean? I think Cailíní on Cailíní, like, of course.
I didn't know that though. I actually this is a very new thing for me that I learned, that's actually being triggered.
Well, like me ní Steinish in dúna cóhir tú an tola show like agus.
Okay, so bhí mé gobar le Aoife Uirsk, who is a láthróir telefíse, and she's also a synchotherapist. So upbringing she like pressure I the chirp, and bhí mé just a minú of some fucking like situation, and I was like, oh, and I reacted this way and I feel really bad about it, and she was like, oh well, like, why did you react that way? And I was like, oh, I just couldn't be dealing with it, so like I just like ignored it and like whatever. And she's like, well, that was really bad form. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I was like, I just couldn't deal with it, so my way of dealing with it is just like, I'll just ignore that now. And she's like, okay, so you were triggered. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, she's like, that's like because you were triggered and you couldn't deal with it emotionally, and so because of that, like, you dealt with it this way. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So like that's like brand new information for me.
Okay.
I would have thought that was really emotionally like tuned in, but
yes.
Níl mé.
Okay, spatial.
Isn't
okay,
that
it's small
spatial?
and san
Yeah.
you knew with Togmer show now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so is there a definition for like the state that you go to when you're triggered? Like, is it lockdown? Is it avoidance? Or is it different to gachtada?
I think it's different go gachtada.
Okay.
Like my way of dealing with ruddy nervy and my triggered is like just ignore it and pretend it's not happening.
Okay.
And then hope the problem will go away.
Okay.
And usually the problem doesn't go away, but like, I don't know, like, or like being triggered can sometimes be if you have to send an email, and it's like that's been building up in your head for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Sounds a bit snowflakey
Yeah,
to get triggered over an email.
Okay,
Now,
maybe.
I don't know.
But I do.
No.
Yeah. Well, sometimes
I don't know. I actually sometimes feel like I can get triggered by like Instagram DMs, lads. This is wild, okay? But I'm like, I will look at one and be like, I see this and I need to reply, okay? And then I don't reply, and I'm like, it's like it's winking at me, and I keep seeing it,
Yeah.
and I don't reply, and I don't know what I'm hoping will happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes, sure, we all know my famous WhatsApp story. Like, it's happened to me in the past. Like, I might see something and be like, oh, you know, and I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Is that just like,
Send back to people.
Oh,
yeah.
it's his procrastination. The Mitch actually Maren Gaida. The Mitch actually
Is it
gets done
procrastination?
it.
Yeah.
Like fraggart muck with cord to Ladani, and I'm like, geez, I
Yeah.
really need to reply to this
I
person.
know.
oh, why can't
Like
we just do it?
occur-
Aaron Spot.
I don't know. It's and then Mohiam Nice Massam, or I think I'm a bad friend because I haven't replied already. So then I
Yeah.
put Kermer and Mara that
Yes.
reached.
Yeah.
And like honestly, it could be like they've like texted me thanking me for Rudagant or do you know what I mean? Like, and
Yes.
it's Nima Hazel Rashku.
Kate from Gayed.
I don't know.
No, I okay. The contact thing is definitely like I suffer from that chuma, and yeah, it is.
But
It's
I
like,
don't know if that means that you're emotionally unavailable or like that you're emotionally not vulnerable. I actually, to go back, lads, to protecting your peace, I think that we live in crazy busy worlds, and like if your life is crazy busy, you kind of have to, it's on you to control the controllables. Like,
Yeah.
So, you know, if turn a blind eye to a tachtracht or a DM helped you control that, like, I don't know if it's the worst thing. I mean, making a habit of it or it becoming a trigger, it's, I don't know.
I don't think you need to be in constant contact to everybody. I think like people have so much monopoly on your time and like, and being in constant contact with the Ladina, especially when you're bhfuil agus tá era jobs got and then like that just adds hugely to it, and you're like, oh my god, if I can fucking get through this today, like
Yes.
to-do list today, I can't be doing like so the contact beta is something to do with if bhfuil ama, but
Tá mo taghála ella that triggers me, and
tell
it's
me.
nurgur gadam glec a career like strong chair. If I have to make a quinna, I'm like, like honestly, I don't know caras like like caras a hagan shay, and like or like I'm like, oh, will you please go up and like order the food, or like like it's fulam ain or ksula shin like glec a career like few takeaways new like vir so wug me talk an uri and like virm like gach shola, you know, like the stuff. If I go, I haven't done it on half of it yet.
I think it's just maybe that a social battery is
depleted.
Social
It
battery
just
is
means
definitely
I think all this
You
is
are
just social battery.
psychoanalyzing me to shreds
Sorry,
here.
I
What did
get that
Freud
too.
say? You can't psychoanalyze the Irish. Should have heard Freud.
Oh,
Did
that.
he?
Yeah, I think George Shaker.
Yeah.
I think he
Well,
said
I'm
Bert that you couldn't psychoanalyze the
psychoanalysing-
Irish and the naked. Let me see.
Oh my
Both
God,
of us, because I
hilarious.
feel like
We're
that myself, and I
fucking
sometimes
mad
think that. Do you
Yeah, but
feel like that?
I feel like that massively, but it's just a sign to me that my social battery's gone and I need to go back into my weird little hole.
yeah,
for a
the
while.
social battery is
Yeah,
a
the social
big one.
battery is gone. Yeah, but you need to just be on form, you know, in time of
And also, that's why we got married. Husbands do the hard jobs, like make the calls we don't want to make.
Yeah, well, some of us are not married.
And
That's
do
why we
the-
married him.
That's literally.
Some of us are not married and need to be emotionally vulnerable so we can get married.
Oh, damn it. So no one has ever confirmed that Freud actually said the Irish were impervious to psychoanalysis. But I'm going to keep going with it.
Listen.
This student of Freud claimed that the Irish, when in psychic trouble, go to poetry, go to storytelling, or go to escapism.
Sorry.
Oh,
There you go.
That's there any Glock on.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I have learned that about myself, that I'm some woman for avoiding.
Just avoiding. Full stop.
Avoiding, full stop.
But
everything.
you get away with it, to be fair to you.
Yeah,
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Because you still you avoid the things that are avoidable, to be honest. And you
They're now
actually.
trying to seize the war.
Oh,
Oh,
there's no avoiding that.
Um,
Do you know what I mean? I think bhfuil tú cliste if we like you. Mate, well, I don't know.
no, I think I'm just emotionally vulnerable with you.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought Clay Bill go make Dara, and I was like, I don't think this is going to work very well, because I was going to be asking you like, okay, what would you do in this emotional situation? And my answer for all of them was like, I'd probably just ring the girls and be like, oh, you'll never believe. So it's going to be a really shit game. Okay, Seo Ceistegum, what's one strength and one weakness that you have with your emotions? I don't know now, by the way, is this all this emotional talk is kind of making me be a bit like, I'm fucking sick of this now.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like
You try to avoid your emotions by
I
not
feel like
talking
I
about
actually
emotional.
feel now that we're halfway through this topic, and I'm like, I'm kind of sick talking about emotions now. I'm like, I've been done for this now. Honestly, that's actually how I feel. I'm like, nah, I can't continue.
Oh my God, stop it. Because you're so
Seriously.
emotionally shut off.
I'm just like, nah.
Well, look, someone in Shaw Radio's there.
Yeah.
So drive her
Yeah,
home
we'll
there. Drive her home.
Well, you
Seriously.
start us there. What do you think are your strengths and weaknesses emotionally? Jeannie Mac.
I know this is
Rakesh.
I'm
Go
well.
on.
My strengths are that I very
Should write them
I'm
down.
quite. So no, mine is like, my strengths are that I'm really good at avoiding emotions,
Yeah.
and that like I can just continue on as if nothing's happened, and it's also my weakness. So it's all
Oh
the one.
God. Okay.
It's all the one. I'm really
Yeah.
good at that. Yeah, that's probably my strength and weakness.
But
Yeah.
I think that absolutely it's a strength.
Yeah.
It's a weakness. But
Yeah.
I wish I was
Let's
me as far
focus.
as that, to be honest. I think that's a
Yeah.
good thing, yeah.
You're actually, that's something Germán for Louise is,
Yeah.
if something's bothering you with the nagging, you just like will say it, and you're like,
Yeah.
we need to talk about this.
yeah,
Resolve
I
it.
could
I
never.
do.
I could
Yeah.
never. I'm allergic
We had on
to
chat in
confrontation.
Ladini.
Yeah, I can't do it.
And I think it's because the way I was reared, to be honest. It was very much a nip it in the bud situation. Like
Yeah.
there was never really grudges, or like if there were a grudge would come after the problem had been said out loud. Do you know, it was nothing ever went unsaid, and you'd kind of be guessing what was going on, which I kind of think is a good thing. And
Yeah.
I'm bhuiach go bhfuil sé sin anslí
Absolutely a skill issue.
mar hán
Yeah.
bhí láthar. And
It's
I
early
actually,
shay.
yeah, because I hate nothing more than carrying around that weight of like, for example, if you feel off with someone or whatever, rather than just being like, oh, tell me what's wrong, you know.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to go through the shitty moment, but then ultimately at least you've a bit of clarity on, I don't know, if it's a cadre of no rud
Oh, you're dead right.
like, it's funny because while I'm exposing Declan on show now, but Declan is on a hue and like Margoina, and he is more of a man of few words, but when he says what he wants to say, you'll always know it's Rudig and Tofach, you know.
Yeah.
But like, you know, but like, whereas me, I just fucking never stop talking.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
I have something to say about everything. I'm a constant conversation. I'm a chian, and it just in
Oh, there we
Sailor
go.
Fad. But that can be annoying as well if you're like trying to figure something out, le denagant, you know, and one person figures it out through talking it out, and the
Yeah.
other person figures it out through thinking it out.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah.
how do you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, so,
Michaela.
so are you a figure outer?
Are you a tinker or are you a talker?
talker?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I think mascon and Corrod. I'm a talker, actually. I'm a talker.
You're a talker, yeah.
But
you're
only
also
one will in Fargo Club.
Fargo.
I cannot deal with people thinking, oh, that's my trigger. Thinking that people don't like me or are off with me.
Funny.
Oh my God, it sends me into a spiral.
But then
Okay.
I think you're amazing because once you start talking about something, you love to solve.
Yeah, and I kind of love therapy talk as well.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I hear you. And what
Yeah.
I'm feeling right now is, but I think that's me trying to mute confrontation or ein tassi.
But Tati really come on ag féchan ruddy in an undramatic way. I can be quite dramatic.
No, you.
Do you
no.
But that's just because that's you like.
Dorothy Ahrey, like you're addicted to chaos. You
Yeah.
thrive in chaos.
You actually do.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
right
terrible.
there.
Sometimes the messages they're in saying,
You're-
like, girls, oh my God, fuck our show. And I'm like, they're in, what am I looking at here?
She's like, isn't this a joke? This is an absolute joke, isn't it? And you're like,
We're like,
Actually,
okay,
it's grand.
step away from the ledge. They're in like,
should I write back to this person right now and tell them?
here, I'm cutting this person out of my life. Is that what I should do now? Like,
Yeah, no, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah, I don't know. And it's also so funny because I can also be so
yeah, you're
unbothered. Like, so it's so
chronically
phenomenal.
unbothered. Shit
Yeah.
on
it's-
diagnosis.
But
Oh, hopefully
also,
good.
is it because you, and you've always said it about yourself, are a straight shooter? And sometimes when someone doesn't shoot it straight back at you, you're like, what the fuck? And you're waiting.
Yeah.
Like, you would be, bhfuil now, because you'd be actually shaking him to try and get him to communicate back with you.
Yeah.
I think you want someone in
yeah.
very straight terms.
Also,
This
I
is
think
why my last
you would-
relationship didn't work out.
also, I think you have a zero tolerance level for bullshit.
Yes.
And I think it will kind of like Bader, I think you hold yourself in higher esteem than I would. So Air Law of a Wine, I'm kind of like, oh, you're being so dramatic. But Air Law of Ella, I'm like, maybe she's just like better at protecting her peace, not Thomisha.
Yeah.
And I just doesn't accept bullshit like I do.
But it causes me an awful lot of anxiety, like
But-
not having peace.
But maybe it also like chooses the people in your life more carefully.
Yeah.
Maybe
It does, because
Sorry.
actually that is something about her. She doesn't just take on someone if they don't take this like in a mean way, but you don't take on someone unless there's someone you want to take on or is
Yeah.
worth
Yeah.
anything to you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
on
yeah.
Queen of Vic EP,
You
the
know?
McLaren Free like when do you know when to, was that an EP? Our show, yeah, we were like, when do you know when to
Oh, get out
end
of
it?
here.
When to know when to end a
Yeah.
relationship? And I was like, oh, you know when it's not fun anymore, you're kind of just not enjoying yourself, and it's just a bit of a
Chore.
yeah, a bit of a chore. And
Yeah.
Dara was like, why the fuck would you be in something if it felt like that? Like, you know, like she was just like
Yeah.
absolutely fucking not.
That's actually so true. I actually do find,
Yeah.
You know.
no tolerance unless I'm like all in.
Yeah.
Or like I'm like 100 or nothing.
You don't, and I think you kind of have that superpower where you can scan. You know, if it's like
Yeah,
a
she's
crowd of
like,
people, and you're like,
"Scan,
okay,
beep."
this will,
Scanner.
and you
Yeah.
don't just like. Whereas I love shit talking, and I love, you know, that kind of nonsense
Yeah.
that comes with like.
So how long does it
I
take
don't
you
know.
to judge? Like I would say I'm a very good judge of character, and I'd know it in a minute of meeting someone.
I
if
think
they're
I'm a
for me
good
or
judge of character too, but I think sometimes I play into the. Sometimes I like.
not. No, you
I
are
don't
way
know.
too soft with people.
Do you think? Oh, well, actually, you say that a goni film, yeah.
Yeah. So tu ro yas le gachtene.
Maybe that's because but I do think I'm a glass half full kind of person,
Yeah.
and I do like to see. I am an optimist. Come on.
Show
are.
Darren,
No,
right?
it's like,
And,
man, like
this
me.
is no, this is simplifying it
Yeah.
massively, and this isn't like, it's not black and white, and this isn't all
Yeah.
who ye are.
Go on.
But you are a cynic,
Okay.
and you are an eternal optimist,
Oh,
and we are a sliding scale.
Yeah.
sliding scale. Yeah,
That is
probably.
why it works so well.
I know, honestly, a story thought on a Ronan Gush
Graham,
see a
yeah,
stock
sorry.
our therapy session.
this is-
No, I like it, but
Okay,
just
yeah.
touch exhale.
I know. Tasha Exul.
Well,
and
tá
also,
sé tábhachtach as well for aine tá géisteacht. I think talking about your feelings deeply with people that you can in your life is essential.
yeah, it is.
If you
it's
can.
something you probably need. I need to do more. I think.
Girl, Tommy always in show.
Támuid, yeah.
Guys, well, you, in fairness, you shoulder an awful lot of the fucking burden of my emotional load already. So anyway, but we'll move on. Oh yeah, okay. I was going to say, would you describe yourselves as emotional people? And now into upset, gaheska, and into excited, gaheska. Are you a crier?
Yeah, so do you know what? I actually think, you know, Darren Steeny, you know, Branny and Steeny ar bhaná, mar go she'd log, mar go léiríonn she'd mohucán, agus mar go bhfuil she'd mohucánach, agus like, you know, tá kind of like misconception sin ann, like that women can't, you know, be good rulers or like rudí cosúla seo mar tá she'd come mohucánach. But like I, in Mohormsha, I think it's a superpower kind of mohucánach. Like if you're excited, show that you're excited. You know, if you're upset, show that you're upset. Like Dumsa, like that's how I wish everyone was like this. I fucking wish men were like this. These fucking straight-faced bastards. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just like, I think like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a woman, Moheen Cosúla seo, but like I think just go bhfuil sé níos deise agus go bhfuil sé níos unrí agus just and like maybe it's toxic masculinity and queen knock féadlo of mar sin. But I'm kind of like, why can't everyone just be more like heart in your sleeve kind of thing?
Yes. Do you wear your heart in your sleeve?
Like both sleeves are always full of heart. No, I think that that doesn't make sense having hearts. Do you know what? I think it's really important to say that like people deal with emotions differently, and every like you can't just, you know, like things. There are certain things you deal with.
Land the plane there, Louise.
Sorry. I'm like, I just think it is really important to say this, though, that you're not making a mass generalisation of how you, what kind of emotion, how you show your emotions. You know.
But I think you're fine lots of tormy in of earth fame.
Yeah, you can, but I'm saying in different situations. In all of our lives, there'll be things thrown at us, and you might know how to emotionally react to it. You might be the most emotionally vulnerable person ever. You might be very confident in showing your emotions and everything, but there will be times in your life where something will stop you in your tracks or whatever it might be, and you're going to have to make a decision how you deal with that, right? It might be a relationship ending, it might be something else, and like, who knows the right way to do it? You don't. Like, I wish we did, you know. I wish that we were all experts in dealing with our emotions, but you
not well listen how we're going to react in those situations.
I think sometimes you do, and I think sometimes you don't, and I think there isn't always a right way, there isn't always a wrong way. It depends on situations, and I also think that like you have to maybe in some situations go through a few emotions to find the one that suits that situation best.
Oh my God, yes.
You know.
Yes. I'm so like that, trying on loads of different emotions for a situation. It could be one situation.
It's like a makeover montage.
Yes. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I have to try on loads of different emotions and be like, oh, and then I finally find the one that fits.
My Fargach, my Brono.
Yeah.
Marvel.
That's figuring out what emotion you
is
actually
a big one.
feel is a fucking really
And I think that's a really hard skill to learn, because it's very easy to cry when you're sad.
Yeah.
But is it really easy to like dissect a problem and talk about it when you're sad? You know.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of like, I think you can't just paint all emotions.
It's not one size fits all.
It really isn't.
It's not a mission.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's a skill, learning, figuring out what emotion for what. So you get excited, you cry.
Yeah,
I do too.
I do. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a crier.
I'm a crier as
massive
well.
crier. Yeah.
I know, and I used to like really try and hide how much of a crier I was. I still kind of do, but anyway, I'm leaning into it now.
Come on.
Right. Now, Jesus, girls, I just, you know, this is turned into very
Mohawk they're in.
Mohawk, right?
It's a roller coaster of the Mohawks.
I know, God Almighty. The other topic I had was to do with sexuality, and I said, you know what, I better leave that one off now after my big expose on the nipples 3 shots now. So, okay, let cruaidh now. I'll give you some hypothetical situations. Okay, I want to know how you would deal with it. Okay, you had a minor car accident. You bumped a bumper. How do you react? Would you be up to high dough?
I would do so many curses. I would be shouting and cursing to myself in the car. I'd be like, fuck, shit, fuck's sake, Louise, you fucking blah, blah, blah.
Yes,
fuck, why
But
did that happen?
then you'd open the car door and be like, hi, show Declan Hannon.
Sorry, well.
Yes.
I would try to go out and charm the person. I would say I'd actually say I'm sorry if it was my fault, but I would be killing myself inside. I'd be like, you fucking idiot.
Yes. Okay.
That'd be my initial reaction.
Your initial reaction.
I'd be like, ugh, stupid.
I'd be up to
high
highest.
The
Highest of the does is where I'd be
Oh my God.
probably close to tears.
Really?
And just beating myself up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I actually had a little bumper tip on Friday, and into a car, and I was on my way to work, and I was late for work, and anyway, it's only after on my way home, and I was like, God, like the woman I bumped into texted me, and I was so unbothered by the whole situation. I was actually like, okay, I haven't even told anybody about it, because I was just like, oh, whatever. And I was in the car, and I was like, I wonder, am I so calm about this because it's happened to me so often now at this stage. I've had so many car bumps, like where I like accidentally bumped this person or that person.
Revoke her license.
A
This is not good. Let the whole.
This is not good. Okay. Okay, your job is in jeopardy. How do you deal with it? They're making half the company redundant. Hypothetically, couldn't the guy
This actually happened to me.
I would be freaked.
Yeah.
Up to the highest of does.
There's no way you can.
God feels Louise.
Yeah.
I don't know
actually
about-
to McGree.
This happened to me, Cuperino hin. I was one of the lucky ones now. They kept on. Whoa.
Hey.
Hey.
Top, you did
but
a good job on that top.
I actually think perspective, like, isn't it? You know, that job is a funny one because I am of the belief that, like, again, optimist, glass half full. I'd be like, okay, one door closes, there'll be another one to open,
I'd kind of be
and
like
I
that as
wouldn't
well.
be uptight as much about that. I'd actually be higher. I'd be on higher dough for the car situation.
Would you?
I would.
Yeah. I suppose actually better like níl sé rí fééis tóirim them, but like would I look at it as like, okay, this is an opportunity le they can snoo it, you know.
Now,
I
unless
don't
it
know.
was the dream job and you were
Yeah.
like,
This
and then
is
if
the
I got
thing.
fired in the morning publicly off Today FM, I'd probably like be like, okay, this is a bit shit.
See, this is the thing, and like I think I attach so much to myself. Could you know Brianna Shakoma? So like it's different than just like a part-time job.
Yeah.
See,
Brand job.
I'm going to tell you both exactly how you'd react.
Oh God.
You would go into a little hole where nobody could contact you for a couple of days, and then you'd come out all like, oh yes, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, and then you'd just be uptight out.
Yeah.
You would think about it for a while. You'd be calm on the outside, very calm. You'd go back, you would talk it over with Carl, you would come back and you'd be very rational about it, and you'd be able to talk about it very calm, and you'd be like, "Do you know what? You know, once you'd level things out, you'd be very calm about it all." That's exactly how the two of you would
Mohim
react.
Ksula fucking Tony Soprano in with Dr. Melfi having his fucking therapy
Yeah,
session.
yeah.
So like,
It
it's
feels
supposed to
like,
Dr. Melfi.
Okay. What are the others? Okay. Okay. This is actually really funny. You're extremely hungover and questioning your life / having a crisis. How do you deal with it? When you're extremely, I can be extremely. I'm peak dramatic. when I'm
Really
hungover.
nice takeaway. Lovely comfy clothes. I just need to make sure everyone in my family loves me and thinks I'm okay. A bit of positive, you know, reinforcement from the people around me, and escapism. I'd be escaping into the world of, I don't know, Emily in Paris or something.
Yes.
I'd need to just go miles
TV.
from Mohail agus ain fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would go on a cleaning rampage
Same as
while
my sister Niamh.
also watching some shite reality TV on my phone. And like, God forbid anyone gets in my way, they would feel my wrath. Like, and I'd be like, what are you doing? I just did that wrong.
Oh my God,
pure wrath.
really?
Yeah. Rage,
I
rage.
wish so much that was me.
Do you know,
I'd love
Lady?
that.
But it's not nice, like, it's not nice.
Okay.
No.
And it's no Saborbe actually, like I think you're yen Mawahare Koma.
Yeah.
And like I actually really I want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I more like I remember and like I say Gwar Mawam Mom A.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just on Roadshow. And you feel frustrated and you feel, you know, a bit of resentment. I don't know. Yeah. And like Gutubin like Neil Aina Ella like a Carolad Mohin to the Ainer, you know. So you kind of
Yeah.
like and Mohin Nadini Ella go to in a quina.
Yes.
So I just don't want to have people in my house feel like that.
You don't want to pass it
I
on to
know.
them.
Kind of, yeah. I want to
Yeah.
break the cycle. Sorry, Mom, you were amazing.
But or is it
Yeah.
for you? Maybe though, with Ditcha, it is like it's a coping. Obviously, it is a coping mechanism.
I know, but I'm
and
so I literally
You can
God
cope in other
help
ways.
God help anyone who goes like I could do it in a nice way. I wouldn't have to. I don't have to
know.
scream at someone for stepping
floor
on my
washes
clean
and have it,
floor,
yeah.
like you know, like
Yes.
Into
Yes.
it, yeah.
Kurt Pizza.
Oh, this happened to me recently, where it's like a little mad, little weird crisis of identity. Me and Shiva went on a mad night out. I do remember we went back to our friend's house and we bought a bottle of
Bogan
vodka.
Gluck.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
God,
bought
yeah.
a bottle of
Never
vodka
again.
and it was just a disaster. And it was a Wednesday night, and it was fucking. You know, we were all up for work.
Near of
the next day.
Ainha.
Near of Ainha. It was just ridiculous. And the next day, Rushik messaged us, and I was like, lying in bed, and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Like, what am I at? It's fucking midweek. There's no need to be this hungover on a Thursday morning. And I actually, we met scrolling on my phone, and this like video came up. Sean McAteague was doing a Pacashta near Curie, and I was like, oh my God, I've spent no time out in nature. I actually bawled. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I actually bawled. And then, not joking, 10 minutes later, I got this mad work call. Mieller like Shranug and my Dimla RT, and I was like, oh my God, a sign from the universe.
Yay!
It's a sign from the universe.
I should be hungover
And
today. This is my reward for going on a mad one around.
I was like, look, I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. Like, I was like, oh, I was questioning my whole life. I was like, what the fuck am I at? Her national acne and blah, blah, blah. And then I got this phone call and I was like, do you know what? I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. I just need to relax and chill out. And then that sorted me out. So I probably just looked for a sign from the universe that I'm like,
Yeah.
and I got it. And that
nice.
actually chilled me out. There you go. Well, look, this is very weird episode, Cailíní.
You
but-
love choosing like concepts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
an observation.
observing here. I'm like, how to watch television.
Yeah.
It's a screen in the corner of your room.
Well,
and Darren's like, dig deep into the corners of your mind.
But maybe that
But I'm
says
such
something
a
about you. You're
yeah.
on a journey, and I think that it's great that you're sharing your journey so publicly as well with the listeners, because I bet you there is loads of people out there who take something from,
Am I on a journey?
well, you're like, I think you're on it.
We're all
on a journey.
Girls,
I was
we're
just
all
gonna
on a
say,
fucking
maybe
journey.
I'm just a very deep thinker.
But I also think that, like, you've even said it yourself, like, in the
Yeah.
last year, you've definitely opened
Oh my
your
God.
mind to thinking more
Absolutely.
about these things.
Yeah,
Look,
absolutely.
and it's important to do that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, obviously massive lives changed heavily on this, but also like made such a point of not talking about it ar bhfuil because everybody,
Agus rinne tú go hiúntaach.
yes, everybody deserves their privacy. But people, the thing
Privacy,
that people don't
we
tell
don't
you,
know her.
yeah, we don't know. I don't know her, but look, other people do. But no, the one thing I'll say is people don't talk. Getting over a relationship is the easy part. It's like figuring out the things that like you need to unlearn, or like, skills you need to improve. That's actually the hard part of getting out of a relationship.
Absolutely.
So you will get through your breakup, but you just have to figure out what kind of a person you want to be after that. So that's where I am.
Absolutely, lads.
There you go, guys.
Jesus.
Wahoo.
And just as a disclaimer, I feel like, we haven't solved anything. And if you deal with emotions in whatever way you deal with them, good for you. Like, life is fucking hard, and things will be sent to try you, and you just have to ultimately do what's right for you. And don't
it
listen
out.
to people shy talk. And if it makes you feel you think you're meant to be doing something they're doing, you're not.
Oh my God,
Just
you're not.
do what's right for you.
Yes, and we have all been in the depths of despair where we've been crying after being hungover, being like, what the fuck am I at?
Hey, from good.
Yes. Anyway, Clute. We'll be back next week with a more upbeat episode.
A gruel course.
Oh, on a walk.
Yes. And we said that Hannah, I think, in Orm and the
Horrors.
Hamleisha, but we'll give it a reach. In Orm and the Hamleisha. Cailíní is like, vulnerable. No, that's what they say about the real Gael is somebody who can be really good crack and if really usculte lena mohuchan, and also discuss concepts and literature and ideas and stuff. So it's pure Gaelchus now to be open about yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In contrast to what Freud once said, allegedly.
Yeah,
Localach is
Yes,
focail is kind of vulnerable. Not
Yes.
yeah. Agus, I don't know, Ein Rodella? Mohawk is kind of a run-of-the-mill cown.
Mohawk, yeah.
Do you know what? Carry on Mohawk is Farliv.
Oh.
I love, and it's actually the most predominant Mohawk Gamila gum. 99% of the time, I'm just fizzy with a joie de vie. And I
Hold on, Carrot.
Joie de vie. It's like
joie de vie, like a joy for life.
Joy for life.
Yeah, and you guys know, obviously, the year preceding my breakup, and the couple of months after, it was obviously horrific, but you get through it, and I'm fucking happiest I've probably ever been, I'd say. Yeah, there you go. So you'll get through it. Your emotional vulnerability times.
Mohawk is Far Lassa Louise.
Oh, biocht, liveliness, life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit of that joy de vivre.
Joie de vie.
Joie de vivre.
Joie de vie.
Come, let's go.
Joie de vie.
Ooh la la. My is Farlum. Sonus, I don't know, isn't it great to be truly happy?
Yeah.
When you feel those moments, they happen. Oh, I'm good, Kayla, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, actually, I'm a Korean man. I'm Tom. Just sauce there.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
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 HJP.
HAPPA AI father. Chapel Rowan would love that one. On Mohawk Shin, I don't know what fuckle air. Shan's good joke when they're and shaw. When thought the nervy shock, but it's kind of better, it's Skeshamini actually. Skeshamini. I say Skeshamini. I love a Mohawk Shin. Derek Riv O'Hordians on Octra. Good own a Jukak on Ahis.
Yes.
Yes. Skeshamini. Yeah, it's the build up.
Yeah.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of like a nullag.
We should throw in a little graw as well. Surely we love the feeling of graw.
Oh yeah.
Is Gra Mohawk?
It's a state of being.
It's a state of mind. Anyway, shouldn't catch the lie, Ganella, right?
Okay. Slán.
Slán.